Hello Year 7, welcome to Working with Decimals. Let's get started. Okay, so the first question I've got for you, it's an easy one. It's what is 0.002 times 100? Pause the video and have a go. Okay, I hope you're done. So, did you get 0.2? And what we do when we multiply by 10, 100, or 1,000, or 10,000, or any power of 10, is we take the decimal point and we move it to the right. Okay, so it started off here, and we go 1, 2 to the right, and the decimal point's right in front of the 2. So we've got 0.2 because the decimal point is here. And we only need to have 1 0 before the decimal point, so I don't need to write these ones anymore. The reason why I moved it 2 jumps to the right was because 100 up here has 2 zeros. Okay, let's try another one. This time I've got what is 1.5 divided by 1,000. Okay, so 1,000 is another power of 10. Pause the video and have a go and see if you can write out the correct answer. Okay, let's hope you're done. So we have 1.5, which I've written in white here, and I need to move the decimal point to the left when I'm dividing by powers of 10. But the problem is I don't have any zeros in front of the 1.5, so I added some of my own zeros in green here. And I can just add as many zeros as I want. Don't worry about adding too many. And then I think 1,000 has 1, 2, 3 zeros in it. So I'm going to move the decimal place, or the decimal point, 1, 2, 3 jumps. Here it goes. 1, 2, 3. And notice that after the decimal point, I've got 0.015. Now the decimal point's been moved. So I write 0.0015. And here it is again over here, 0.0015. After I move that decimal point 3 places to the left, and I only need to write 1 0 to the left of the decimal point. I don't need to put a whole bunch of zeros out in front here. If I can, it's still the same number, but it's not really how we write it. Okay, so now you've seen how to multiply and divide numbers with decimals by powers of 10. Let's see if we can add some numbers together. So the question I have for you is 2.32 plus 57.9. Please have a go at this, and please do it without a calculator and show your full working out. Okay, so pause the video, and I hope you're done, so unpause it now, and we've got 2.32 plus 57.9. Now, the way that I do this is exactly like the way I do my normal additions. The only important thing is I line up the decimal points, and I've got 2 in the hundredths column and nothing there, the 3 and the 9 in the tenths, the 2 and the 7 in the ones column, and the 5's out here all by itself in the tens column. And you know how to do this addition already, how to carry things through. And I hope you got 60.22. Okay, next question. It's a subtraction. 7.38 minus 1.611. So line up the decimal points, make sure the numbers are in the right columns, and subtract, and pause the video. Okay, I hope you're done. So let's see if you got the answer. So I like to start off by lining up the decimal points, and I have the 7 and the 1, the 3 and the 6, the 8 and the 1, and this one here is in the thousandths column, and this number here didn't have anything in the thousandths column, so I just added a 0 here too. And then I do 0 minus 1, I can't do that, so I borrow from the 8, turn it into a 7. This becomes 10 minus 1, which is 9, 7 minus 1, which is 6, and you know the rest because you've done it lots of times when you've done your subtractions. just make sure all the columns line up and your decimal points line up. Okay, next question. It's a multiplication. 7.32 times 8.6. So pause the video and have a go, and I'll give you a moment. Okay, so I hope you're all done now. Let's have a look at the answer. So in this one, I'm doing 7.32 times 8.6. And you can see that I've lined up the decimal points here, but to be honest, when I do my multiplications like this, lining up the decimal points actually isn't so important. And you can see I haven't even put in any decimal points in my answer yet, and that's because we're going to do that bit at the end together. So you know how to multiply these numbers together, and I've basically just imagined it like 86 times 732 because I haven't bothered to put any decimal points into my answer yet. So how do I work out where to put the decimal points in the answer? There's a very nice little trick. What I do is I look in the question here and I count how many numbers come after the decimal point. And I go, well, this 2, this 3, and this 6 come after the decimal point, so the same number need to come after the decimal point in the final answer. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm just going to add my decimal point right here, and the actual answer is, we can put it up here as well, 62.952. And notice that I've got the same amount of numbers, or the same amount of digits, after the decimal point in my final answer as I do in the question, 3 digits there. Okay, let's do a division. So we've got 7.665 divided by 0.21. Pause the video and have a go, and then you can check with me in a moment. Okay, I hope you're done. Let's check the answer. So my first step was going, well, you know what? 0.21, it's a bit of a difficult number to divide by, so I'm going to make it so it's not a decimal. So I get my 0.21 here, I times it by 100, and that gives me 21. But because I've times the 0.21 by 100, I've got to times the 7.665 by 100. So I go 7.665 times 100, and there it is, 766.5. So now I just divide 766.5 divided by 21, and you can see I've done it in here. You know how to do a division already. 21s into 7 goes 0, into 76 goes 3, remainder 13, into 136 goes 6, remainder 10, and into 105 goes exactly 5. And in this one, again, my decimal points line up, so we've got 36.5 as our final answer. Okay, guys, that's it. So what you need to be able to do is times and divide by powers of 10 and move that decimal point to the left and right. And then you need to be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals. Here's some homework to practice. It's Cambridge 8, 4D, 1 to 4, which I think are multiple choice questions. Just the left column from 5 to 12. Then for 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, and 19, you can work through all of those. Okay, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.